When we left off, we had made our way from Oregon, through California, and over to Utah on our trial run testing out the van.
Got a whole lot of loving just for you. I got all this loving, but I just want you. I got a pain in my chest and my rest don't heal.
One of the main things we knew we were going to want, one of the first things we helped design on this van was the solar panels. That was going to be our main charging source. We didn't want to put in a shore charging inverter on here. We wanted to go completely off grid and see if we could do it just sustainable by solar alone with no other options. That was going to mean putting on some large panels and finding a way that we could elevate them or angle them. They're obviously flat on the roof, which means until you get sun directly over you, we wanted to have a bit of an option, the north-south direction of the seasons and also early morning sun like this. So we ended up putting on these two large 60 cell panels up here. I think they're around 340 each. So 680 watts, something in that area. And we put some gas struts on them, some pretty large gas struts, which we had to reinforce the ceiling pretty well to support, because otherwise it would buckle that thin sheet metal. And we can prop it up and down using this. And our little stick, because it's high up, we have this little boat cleat up here. And that way we can latch them down when we're underway, and we also have a way to pull them down, of course.
We spent a bit of time trying to figure out what sort of angle we would need on those to get good charging, especially like in the winter months, say in higher latitudes, Pacific Northwest area. At the end of the day, even though that angle they're on right now seems kind of extreme, it's great because as soon as the sun comes up, we can put those up and we're making like 20 amps the minute the sun comes up with those up like that. So that's pretty good.
We're up on Muley Point.
We're in the far southeastern corner of Utah. That back there is a huge gorge that looks out onto a few landmarks.
You're looking at Arizona in the distance actually, and possibly you can see Monument Valley back there. The gorge down below us has the river, the San Joaquin River, and back in the way is Mexican Hat.
And this is also known as the Valley of the Gods down here, is that right?
Valley of the Gods.
Valley of the Gods.
I'm not sure why. I think we've seen some pretty cool shadows.
Yeah, it's
of people.
Pretty amazing looking.
Yeah, so we think maybe it's like the gods of the shadows. Well, we're making our way down to San Diego. We have a set schedule now. That means going down this 11% downgrade gravel road that's supposedly a state highway, and it's like 3 miles straight off this cliff basically.
Straight down into the valley.
Yeah, so it's a little scary. I'm happy we'll be doing it in the morning. Hopefully it won't be as windy, because this wind is pretty crazy up here.
Super windy. You get some huge gusts coming up out of the valley.
But isn't it worth it for the view? I mean, this is a pretty amazing view. I've never been to this area before. Hey, there's a little whirly wind right here. Dust's picking up. There's some wind.
It's like sitting on the rim of the Grand Canyon, basically. I've never been to the top of the Grand Canyon. We've been to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. But yeah, basically like sitting on the top of the Grand Canyon.
We're going to enjoy a great sunset here. We'll show you some shots of that as we go through the night. But yeah, we're just going to hang out here, have dinner. We've both had a shower. We're enjoying our road tripping in the van. It's working out great. And it's given us great ideas for boats in the future as well. Very similar. Now we need to drink some beer.
Relax.
And turn the other way and look at the view.
Turn and look at that, what you guys are looking at. This state highway, which was originally constructed for the mining equipment and minerals to be transported in the early 1900s, had us a bit nervous, with warning signs against taking trailers or RVs, steep grades, and gravel roads. However, it ended up not being all that bad, and gave us some stunning views of the valley below.
Yeah, crazy houseboat down there, aren't they?
Yeah.
We're just taking a quick stop here by the San Joaquin River, maybe longer if we can't get out. But we decided to put the solar panels up while we're here. We've got them up, this is probably a little over halfway from what they go. They go almost up 90 degrees, which we don't generally need, although it's not bad if you're on top of a canyon and it's 6 a.m. and you want to catch that first sun, it's pretty good. So right now it's about 9:30 in the morning and we have these at a pretty good angle to the sun. We could probably turn the van around a little more. But we're bringing in about 37 to 39 amps right now, which is pretty good. That's probably getting close to maxing out these panels without us being like really precise. We do have a water heater inside, an electric one, which is one of the big power users along with the induction. So there's still always a power management that we're doing, but with the lithium batteries and with the good solar panels, we can get that 40 amps out of it and charge it back up in no time. That's great, because we don't have to go through that really long cycle, like the absorption there to get that last few in. We can put 40 amps in pretty much all the way up till full, or at least up to like 95%. So this is our Victron BMV, I think it's the 712 one here, that we can monitor from the cab as well via Bluetooth, which isn't bad if we want to see how we're going for charge while we're driving. If we're trying to run something and maybe run the outlets here to charge the laptops. Because this is all AC, so this is running off the inverter. Got these outlets here. We also have the induction stove and we have the electric water heater over there. Both the electric water heater and the stove, I want to say around 1500 to 1800 watts max, which is a lot, right? That's well over a kilowatt of power going out. So we only use one of those at a time, so we don't want to blow the circuit. I think we've got a 15 amp circuit from the inverter itself. No, sorry, it'd be about 25 amps, something like that. But still, we only want to run one because each one of those individual circuits is a 15 amp circuit. So we don't want to run both of those. The outlets is different. That's usually just charging a laptop, or we have a camera battery on charge right now. We're bringing in about 35 amps right now, positive. That's with the refrigerator is turned on, so the compressor's running on that, and we're charging a battery.
Clear of the sketchy roads, we made our way southwest into Arizona, passing through Monument Valley. We found a nice campsite south of Flagstaff where we soaked up the sounds of nature, preparing ourselves to head back into town and civilization.
Nice cloud.
Making our way west, we passed over the mountains and dropped into San Diego, where our attention would shift from the road and the van to a different mode of traveling home on the water. But more on that next time. Thanks so much for watching, and a huge thanks to our Adrift patron crew who support the making of these videos. If you enjoyed, a thumbs up means a lot, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time!